Okay, Coach, so the snow and rain have stayed out of the forecast, but we're in for a cold afternoon at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Red, State, Reed. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On second down, Jacobs. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On second down, it's Jacobs, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Foster. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll be inside the red zone with the ball at the 16-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Looking to throw. Foster. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Devin Bush racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tackle.
And Foster loses the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And it's complete. What a catch at the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, that didn't take very long. You mentioned you have to keep him under wraps. Avoid the big play is what you said, and here he makes one in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can't let this become a habit. Otherwise, you know what will happen? They'll flat out take over this game.
Flush to his right. He'll run it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they'd love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested because you know the big guys up front. That's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game and they know it helps their team.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. On first down, Pratt. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On second and 11 now. Jackson. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
On third down, it's Pratt. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now.
Right, 51. Exit. He's coming. We got double up. It's free. 2.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Second and 6. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. But he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Dante Fowler in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Boswell's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And the defense obviously expecting run as well, as they're going to shut that one down at the line of scrimmage. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Jackson, this one complete to Christian Kirk. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 39. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Dante Fowler in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rut.
In trouble, and he's taken down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Justin Lane. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Pratt. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now it's Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Foster to throw on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
And we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
The Steelers are first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. A gain of 3, second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll keep it on the ground. Pratt, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing is Jackson. Open man here is Gentry. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Dante Fowler in on the stop.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Here we go.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. He's really putting together a spectacular season. That interception, number 11 now on the year.
And I know we're all taught that 7 is a lucky number. I'd say 11 is for him, huh? No doubt about it.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And not much room there, so get it up only to about the 21. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw